Filmmakers from Turkey, Johannesburg and Cape Town are currently sharing their stories at the Mobifest Film Festival. Now, this is a film festival that showcases films designed purely for mobile phone users and co-hosted by two activist hubs in the Bertha Spaces network, Postane in Istanbul and Bertha House in Cape Town. This week-long international festival kicked off from Friday and will run until the 26th of November in Cape Town and virtually for a global audience. Now, to give us more details, we are joined by one of the festival's mentors, Nadine Cloete, as well as filmmaker Thato Maluleke. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Nadine, I want to start with you. Tell us a bit more about what the Mobi Film Fest is about.
Yeah, as you said, it's being run across Istanbul, and the theme was really, it worked with the theme of solidarity, and it looked at, how can we bring, how can we use the mobile space, how can we use technology, to forward an activist agenda. So, yeah, I came on board as a mentor, and it was a great experience, being a mentor. I think your main job is to make sure that the filmmaker's voice is heard in the best possible way, that you support the story that they want to tell.
Mm-hmm. Thato, tell us about your participation in this film festival and your particular film that's been showcased.
So my film is called Ikhaya Lethu, which, loosely translated is Our Home. And I got into this program somewhere around September when I applied. They were calling out for filmmakers looking for films and stories around solidarity spaces. And for me, it was kind of a natural instinctive thing to go with Vogue Nights, which is the solidarity space that I chose. So Vogue Nights is basically an event that accommodates queer people. It's a queer-friendly event where people come to find community and acceptance and understanding through music, through dance, through performance. And so when I was writing my story, I thought, how could it be that I could subvert, the documentary genre and turn my storytelling into a drama film, right? So I created a story called Ikhaya Lethu, which sees a boy who experiences a certain level of homophobia at home. And, he discovers this wonderful, fantastical world of Vogue Nights. And after that, he comes back home with the realization that, even though home is toxic, there's always a home away from home, which is better and more understanding and accepting.
What's been the response to your film, Thato?
I won't lie, it has been absolutely mind-blowing. I was not in Cape Town. There was screening in Cape Town, and the response that I got from the WhatsApp group, people were absolutely loving it. I think it was absolutely phenomenal, and I think it's quite validating as a filmmaker to get those kind of reactions from people who watch it in real time.
Nadine, I want to talk about this year's theme, solidarity spaces. What is the inspiration behind that? How did the team come up with this theme?
I believe, we've all been under lockdown, of course, and COVID has isolated us, right? So it was really looking at the importance of gathering, of solidarity, of unity, and what that means. And just speaking about Ian's film, Dahlia in particular, she looked at the solidarity space of the hair salon. And what was interesting about her film is that she focused on immigrant voices. And I think those voices are also so overlooked, especially in South African film. And so what does a hair salon, which might seem as a very ordinary space, but what does that space mean for immigrant women, who've come, who managed to start up their own salons? And it's actually much deeper than just doing hair, but it becomes a space of safety.
Speak to us about your role in training and supporting these filmmakers.
It's thinking about these spaces in very different ways.
Sorry, Nadine, I wanted to talk about the role that you play in training and supporting young filmmakers in the whole process. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, like I said, I played the role of support, which meant Ian, for example, wrote in with her idea already. She submitted her idea, and it was about meeting up with her, discussing it, workshopping it, going through, what is story structure, what is beginning, middle, end of something, what does that look like? Ian was interesting because she wrote in with a fiction idea and ended up making a documentary. But I think that again comes down to your role as a film mentor, even evaluator, is to support that person's voice. So I felt I was just there as a sounding board to make sure what she wanted to say was covered as well, such as Ellen Valley, Antoinette Engel, Karabo Lediga, who worked with emerging filmmakers to make sure, that the voices and the messages come across in the best way possible.
Thato, I believe that the filmmakers were developed over an 8-week production period. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my goodness. So it was one of the most grueling, most fascinating challenges I've ever experienced. I'm a director, but in other fields. So this was my first dramatic piece that I had to direct. And I think it was very awakening in terms of the things that could happen because, it is said that making a movie is an actual movie. It's very difficult. It's very challenging. But like Nadine said, with the support of our mentors, it really became easy. It really became something that was easy to collaborate on with ideas, with suggestions. It was kind of difficult, but at the end of the day, I think when you look at the slate of films that were produced, we really did an amazing job.
And what do you think festivals such as the Mobifest are important, and what role do they play in creating exposure for emerging filmmakers?
So initially, the idea of Mobifest is that they wanted to showcase these movies on a phone, right? And we can't deny the idea that everything content related is now existing on our phones. It's in the palms of our hands. So when we are writing these stories, trying to engage an audience that is on their phones, I think it also works with us as filmmakers in terms of creating a different narrative, because a lot of people like believing that, film on phones is more of your TikToks or your, short clips and whatnot. But I think there is opportunity for us to have story structure. There's opportunity for us to tell actual stories that are impactful with a social activism voice or with a point of view that is beyond just dancing and doing, other frivolous activities, which of course there is a platform for that. But I think it's high time that also filmmakers get a piece of the pie of the digital content stream.
Nadine, when you look at the quality of the films, and that's what Thato just touched on at the moment, that were produced for this festival, what goes through your mind in terms of the work put in by these filmmakers?
Yeah, I'm very excited, by the quality that I've seen, especially the content. Thato, I must congratulate you on your film. I really, really enjoyed it. And, my wish is that it travels far and wide. It's really a film that needs to be seen. And yes, these films are being, let's say, premiered on a specific platform. But I do hope that the messaging in these films reaches many, many people. It's always exciting to see emerging filmmakers. What is exciting about a country like South Africa is when you do a festival like this, that you get filmmakers from different cultures, and you're continuously learning about your own country by watching these films, and you kind of get access to cultures that you normally wouldn't have. So that is the beauty of South Africa and the importance of festivals like these.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for talking to us. Our mentor Nadine Cloete and filmmaker Thato Maluleke. And they've been speaking to us about the first of its kind Mobifest Film Festival currently underway, taking place in Cape Town. All right, so let's go to the OR Tambo